Today is a big day for two reasons. One is Yom Yerushalayim, and the second one is my birthday. The Hebrew birthday is today, Kafchet Iyar. Kafchet is a koach. Koach means give us strength. When we got to Yerushalayim, this is our strength. When be able to go to Yerushalayim and to pray by the Kotel, you feel different. There's no city in the world is like the holy city of Yerushalayim. People, they go to France, they go to London, they go touring all over the world. Is nothing like Yerushalayim. Is nothing like, there's one city in the world that they bring so much connection to God. I would like to share with you a little bit background. When I was a bar mitzvah boy at the time, and the 6 Days War start. The 6 Day War start, and across from our house was the Mifkadat Tzva'it, is the army base, the headquarters of the Syrian army in Halab, Aleppo, was right across from our house. And we lived in the second floor, and I was able from the balcony to see all the captains, all the big guys coming and hiding in the foxhole, and they were waiting for the Israeli warplane to come and to knock them down. And of course, they were very smart. They know how to fly without being hit. Thank God they came. They did what they're supposed to do, even before those captains entered the foxhole. And at the time, my father, Alayhi Shalom, used to hear Kol Israel in Arabic, and they telling them that the Israelis is coming. Now, Aleppo is much in north part of Israel, of Syria, not like Damascus. From Israel to Damascus close, but Aleppo is much up north. So those war airplanes, they used to come to Aleppo, and they made the announcement, if you don't want to be attacked, so you need to you should raise the white flag and show like sign of peace and surrender. And my mother, she was afraid. I mean, our house was afraid to show, we don't want to show that we are connecting with listening to the news. So she made the laundry and she hung up the sheets, the white linen up on the roof. And this way is a sign like, we are showing that we are surrendering to Israeli army. And of course, the Arabs, they didn't know that. But Baruch Hashem, this was a miracle at the time that the Israeli war took place in 6 days, 6 days. Unbelievable. So I was a little boy at the time, bar mitzvah boy. So it built up a dream on me that I said, I wish I can go to Israel. I wish I can go to Yerushalayim. Even in those days, it's not common, and they never taught us about Israel. You're not allowed to talk about it in the school, and then the street, not to your friends. And this is what you have in this is what you have in the if we have to talk about Israel, we talk privately. And the truth, at the time, I didn't know what Israel all about. All what I know about Israel is from the Tanach, from the Bible. Israel is Eretz like Olam Haba. Do we know anything about Olam Haba? No, we don't know. We hear there, but we don't know until we be there after 120 years. But we know it's a great place to be, Gan Eden, So the same thing, this is Israel, Yerushalayim, and we build up our feelings from our tefillot. Every day we pray, Mahazir Shechinato Letzion, pray to God, bring the Shechinah to Tzion, to Yerushalayim. And this is what build up that hope and the right spirit. So I was listening this morning in some clip video about the 6 Days War, and we saw how the soldiers penetrating the old city, and they made proclamation, Har Habayit B'Yadenu, Har Habayit B'Yadenu, the Temple Mount in our hand. I feel like soon we're going to enter the shul, and we're going to say the same thing, Bet HaKnesset B'Yadenu, Bet HaKnesset B'Yadenu. We feel like we are in the Galut for such a long time, maybe 2-3 months. And now, finally, hopefully, be able to enter our synagogues. Of course, could you imagine what the feeling when we're coming to Beit HaMikdash, is going to build Be'ezrat Hashem speedily in our time? Great. And I would like to bless our president, Donald Trump, that he gave such a great support to all not only to the synagogues, also to all the holy sites. all through different religion, that they should be above and all, and let them be practice freedom of religion. Of course, with the guideline, and to be extra cautious for health thing. So now we see from here that Baruch Hashem, the victory that we got in Yom Yerushalayim is unbelievable. These three words are still in our mind and our ears. Harabayit biyadenu, Harabayit biyadenu. Baruch Hashem, you know, Yerushalayim was two cities. It was Yerushalayim the old and Yerushalayim the new. So the old one, we have it in Israel for many years. But the new one, you know, where the Arabs and the Kotel and all this area, you know, we got it much later, you know, on the 6 Days War. I remember from the pictures, you can see how the people was snuck in to come to the Kotel and being stoned, throwing on them, and they were putting their life in danger to come to that area to pray to Hashem and to go home during the Jordanian army. So Baruch Hashem, when they won the war, and Rabbi Goren, the chief rabbi, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Lebracha, and he said the bracha Shehiyanu. Shehiyanu, unbelievable. He was a venture. He's the one to come up with such a blessing. Not only that, he took the shofar and he blew teka b'shofar gadol leharutenu. He felt it. Not every person feel when they go. If you feel that when you come to Eretz Israel, that you coming to the holy site, the holy Mikdash, you know, this you are a special person. And as we know, in every happy occasion, the Hatan, right, the groom, he takes the glass and he breaks it with his step on it, and he says, "Mishkahech Yerushalayim, tishkach yamin." And everybody says, "Mazel tov, mazel tov." What mazel tov for? Why? Because he broke the glass? No, mazel tov for the wedding, not for the glass. The glass, we don't say mazel tov. The glass is a sign of to become serious and to think about the destruction. Every time when we are happy, we should not forget the house of God that's being destroyed and is not around us, is not being visited. Okay, I mean, Shualim Elechuvot, today you have Arabs using it. You have people who playing baseball in the Harabayit, desecrate the holy temple. If they are holy, you know, for them, they should treat it with respect. How you feel today, people making the sanctuary as a baseball field, you know, they can come and start playing with, taking away the Kedusha. So this really is not Kadosh to them, is like to us. So we would like to continue and have in mind to pray to Hashem that they will come soon, inshallah, and then we'll be able to have it in our hand. We got Eretz Israel, we are free, we have our own country, but yet we are still Nigalut. As long as we don't have this holy site in our control 100%, right? Even though that we're not allowed to go because we are all impure, but still we can maintain it with the sanctity, not when the Shualim, the fox, is walking through the holy temple and desecrate it. So this is what the Yerushalayim becomes a very holy place for me, house, second home after my house from Halab. When I came to Israel, I chose to live only in Yerushalayim. I don't know, I felt something holy is nothing like any other city in Israel. They offer us few cities and we went there, you know, 2 months here, 1 month there. But when I came to Yerushalayim, I learned in Parot Yosef Yeshiva for 2 years. And then I went to Yeshivat HaKotel for 5 years. And then we went to the Kollel after that. Now, when I was in Yeshivat HaKotel, every Friday night, we used to dance, all the Yeshiva boys with the Rosh Yeshiva, Rabbi Hadari, Alav Shalom, and singing songs to welcome the Shabbat. You know, Shamor V'Zachor. And it was a beautiful sight. You see all the boys dressing the same, there's, you know, white shirt and dark pants, and making a circle in the Kotel. And then after we finish, welcoming the Shabbat by the Kotel, and then we go back to the Yeshiva. So give us this zichronot, good memories. And then Baruch Hashem, one night I was going after the Yeshiva, going by to my dorm in the old city, and all of a sudden I met my wife. She wasn't my wife. She got lost over there in the old city, and she was looking for address to come to visit. She's visiting her friends. And it was 10 o'clock at night after the Seder. And she asked me, excuse me, where's the Rehov Chabad? I said, who are you looking for in Rehov Chabad? She said, well, my friend lives there. I said, well, I live there also in Rehov Chabad. What number are you looking for? He says 48. He said, well, I'm 48. So I said, okay, this the way I'm going. I will go. I'll walk with you. About 2 blocks away from the yeshiva until the dorm. So she left to her friends. I went to my, and that's it. 2 months later, we met again, and same spot, met Hashem, and then we start talking. And then after a month, we decide that's it. We're going to get married. And Baruch Hashem, Chacham Ovadia Yosef, Zecher Tzadik B'Kadosh V'Bracha, he did the wedding in the old city, the same spot where we met, B'Oto Makom. And Baruch Hashem was Zechut Gedolah that the Rabbi to marry us. As we know, every time, Baruch Hashem, many rabbis, they make weddings. And I enjoy to do also wedding as a second time, because to get the wedding the first time is nice and exciting. But after a person for second time, you need a lot of kochot and strength to build up again the family all over. But when you have a person, and when I do second wedding, usually if there's children in this couple, right, I put them in the front row and we dance in front of them. I mean, they are the core of the simcha, because those children, they struggle so much throughout the divorce of their parents, and mitzvah gdolah to make them happy. So we did it a couple times, worked out beautifully. But one time was a fellow he got divorced, and we tried to fix their marriage. Didn't work out. And he got divorced, unfortunately. 2 years later, he called me and said, Rabbi Farhi, I'm getting married. I'd like you to marry us. I said, oh, beautiful, very nice. Who's the lucky one? He says, my first wife. I said, even I'm more happier now that you're marrying your first wife. Again, why? Because the children now, they have the same parents. When the person, La'alein, will get divorced and marry different, so the children, they get lost between the father and the mother. Here, the same parents reunited again, and it brings them home. So why I'm saying the story? Because I chose to sing that. I'll bring the children to the stage, and we sing the song for them, Shabbahi Yerushalayim et Hashem. Berach banayich bekerbech. We give special barakah to those children that they, unfortunately, they struggled through the divorce for a few years, and now Baruch Hashem, the simcha came back to the family. Now, I would like to so we mentioned that the Hatan, break the glass, and the city of Yerushalayim. By the way, if you ask people today, how many times Yerushalayim is written in Torah? When we say Torah, it doesn't mean only 5 books. You have 24 books. You have Nevi'im, you have Ketubim, So really, Yerushalayim is not written many times in the 5 books of Moshe. But during the 24 Sefarim, you have the name Yerushalayim mentioned 656 times. We have a restaurant in Deals called 656 Ocean Avenue. So it makes it holy, that restaurant. I told him, because, you should put picture of Yerushalayim here, because the number's so special that you have to commemorate from Yerushalayim. When we pray to God every day, so we think that the tefillah going straight up to Shamayim. It's not true. It's going first to cross the ocean, from the ocean going to Israel, from Israel going to Yerushalayim, from Yerushalayim going to Kotel, and from the Kotel goes up to Shamayim. The people who lives in Yerushalayim, their tefillah gets much quicker and faster than our tefillot. If you want to pray to Hashem, you can, if it's sent to some rabbi or somebody over there, of course Hashem will listen to your tefillot. Don't misunderstand, but much quicker if the tefillah being made in Israel and going directly to Hashem. So really, the Sha'arei Tefillah, the gates of prayers, where is it? Is above Beit HaMikdash. You have Beit HaMikdash here in this world, and you have Beit HaMikdash up in the Shamayim. So our tefillot from here, let's say Brooklyn or New Jersey, whatever, they don't go up to heaven straight. They go to the long way to go. Okay, and Baruch Hashem, they get there. Doesn't take long time, you know. Today with the science, it's crazy. You can get it at no time. It's so fast. But still, the concept is there that the tefillot has to go through the holy city of Yerushalayim. So now, I would like to, if you have any question, I would like to respond, to the question that you have. Okay.
So, Rabbi, I could ask a couple.
Yes.
You decided to leave Syria.
Yes.
Was it an easy decision, and was it an easy journey to get to Israel?
No, not at all. So either because I was young at the time, I didn't take it seriously. I did it and I thought it's a fun, and I took it as a challenge. A lot of time when a teenager boy, they can they do a lot of things, but the truth today, I'm thinking about it, how two boys by themselves, they leave such a country, Syria, that it's forbidden for Jewish people to leave. I was never in Damascus. Could you imagine that you here in Deal and you're never in Brooklyn? You can't go to Brooklyn. So this is what the situation in those days. You're not allowed to travel. So now how are you going to go out of the country from city to city and then get to a different country, and they know you are Jewish, right? And they have no paper. They don't give you any paper. So there used to be smugglers coming to Syria and help Jewish people to escape, and they come through from Turkey, and it was a great man. His name is Shem should give him refuah shlema. His name is Eddie Whitey Sit, and he's from Bnei Yosef, and Shem should give him refuah shlema, Ezra Ben Salha. So he was the one supporting all the smugglers. He used to give like $2,000 for every person. You know how many people they were able to leave? Families, I'm not talking individuals. So at the time, nobody was coming because they scared them. The Syrian government, they planned some bad goyim to go and to convince the families to escape. And on the border, they used to make a call and the police arrest them and bring them back to Syria, put them in jail. Some people 3 months, some people 6 months, some 5 years. So now everybody is scared that nobody wants to leave, even if they're coming for real. So at the time, for 2 years, nobody escaped. And then as two young men, 17 years old, so I said, we can do it. We don't have to, let's do our homework and find out how you can come out from here to escape. So we asked Arabs who smuggle, not drugs or something, but food and soaps and I don't know, all kinds of things, gold maybe. And we asked them how you get from here to here. They explained to us, and then we checked it and it came out true. So we decided to leave our homes by ourselves. So when I left, I did not tell my parents at all. And just like I'm going to the school and I kept my books in the corner, I left and dropped them somewhere. And then we left and we changed our clothes. We dressed up like in Arabs, villagers. This way, if they'll see us, they think we are part of the area over there. No kippah, of course, and no tzitzit. This way, didn't make any suspicious for people to arrest us. And it was a period of Ramadan. So at the time, was another goy. He joined us. He was escaping also. So we have to act like we are Arabs also as him, and we were starving. We couldn't eat just to show that we are more religious than him. He was eating, breaking the fast in Ramadan, and we, we couldn't eat.
And then you snuck over the border. You went straight to Jerusalem?
No, I snuck over the border. First of all, we went to Beirut, from Aleppo to Beirut, Lebanon. From Lebanon, we got stuck for 8 months. It wasn't easy to come out of Lebanon until they got us the paper, but they couldn't get the paper, and it was very dangerous because the Syrians, they're coming to Beirut and taking the boys and bring them back to Halab, Aleppo. So at the end, we put pressure on some government official to give us permission to work, and they don't want to do that. They don't want to change the law. So they said the best thing, get them out of here. The Lebanese government at the time, they are more with the more Christian side than the Muslim. So they were helping the Jewish community there, and then they were able to let us go out through the Israeli border, Lebanese-Israeli border. And at the time, more boys and girls, they escaped, and we got together to number 26, which is a very good number, Hashem's name. So we started with 2 and became 26 within this 8 months. And we got to Israel, and in Israel, when we got there, from the northern part through Rosh Nikra or that place, Metula, and they asked us, we came 5 o'clock in the morning, and they saw we are very excited to come to Eretz Israel. And we saw a car driving in the street, so we tried to stop it, it won't stop. And they got scared maybe because we dressed up like terrorists. The Lebanese community, they gave us clothing to dress like them. This way, that when we're crossing the border, they shouldn't think that we are Jewish people, like one of them. And then so we saw tanks coming, and we said, oh, Israeli tank, let's lay down in the street, and he must stop. If you see people laying down, he's not going to run them over. So we had the courage, and we all 26 boys and girls, we lay down on the street, and all of a sudden the Israeli tank stopped on the Golan border, and we ran all of us to the guy, and he told him, Shema Israel, Hashem Elokeinu, Hashem. The guy thought we were crazy, Majanin, what they were doing 6 o'clock in the morning. And then we told him we are Syria, Lebanon, Mebefem. He doesn't understand. He's the Ashkenaz, didn't know Arabic at all, one word. And so he spoke to his captain, and the captain told him, yes, we know about them. They got lost. Instead coming from the east, he went from the west, 5 miles different, and that's why they come to this area. Tell them to wait. We'll bring a bus and we bring them in. So they brought us. Now, when they asked us the first day, the first hour actually in Israel, in the Syrian border, they asked, "What do you wish?" So we told him we wish to see the Sarah Bitachon, Moshe Dayan at the time. Moshe Dayan, they like Moshe Rabbeinu, he brought savior to Jewish people. So during Yom 6 days war, right, Yom Yerushalayim, he did a lot of victory over there, and he was a hero. So every Jewish people, they put his picture under the pillow, and they were sleeping at night. They sang Shema Israel, and they have in mind also for Moshe Dayan. We didn't know anything better. And then we told him we would like to see Moshe Dayan, his Minister of Defense, Sarah Bitachon, the head of the army, whatever. So they said, okay, we'll call him. So he's very happy to hear you have 26 young men, boys and girls. The army age, perfect, 17, 18, 19, whatever. So he said, it's worth it for me to go and to see them. So he took his helicopter in the morning, 7 o'clock, 6:37, and he came all the way to the north border of Israel, and he greeted us there. So he gave us beracha, welcomed us to the land of Israel, and Baruch Hashem, at the time was very challenging for me. They put us in a kibbutz, not religious at all, even though we had the custom to pray, tradition to pray as a Syrian, like here, the community 3 times a day, The core of the community really they came from Halab. And it's not like people who grew up in different country in the Midwest or something. Every boy in Syria, they know Tehillim by heart. They know Mishle, they know. We practiced a lot. We learned a lot when we were young boys. And so I couldn't believe that in Israel they have a place where they eat non-kosher. And they eat pig. And this is what turned you off. And you know what? People they walk away from it after a while. If you're coming as a young boy, you have no family, you have no backing, you have no support, you have no community, you get lost within short time. I have my friend who stopped keeping Shabbat when they came to Israel. After 6 months, a year, khalas, rah. But you know what? After they came to the community, 10 years later, from Israel, they came to Brooklyn, to Sha'arei Tzion, they saw all the friends, they saw our community is strong, and they gave them support, and Baruch Hashem, they came back to their roots. They're all good, Baruch Hashem, but you know, the community is very, very important. We're lucky to have community. You know, we are all going to the shul, we see each other, we give chizuk. You know, if you are by yourself, you're not as strong, but we are the community, you have a lot of, you know, chizuk.
Right. So you mentioned one thing. I have one more question for you. We have 5 more minutes left. You mentioned you went to Yeshivat HaKotel. So I remember when I was in Israel for the year, I was in Ma'ale Adumim, and my Shana Aleph over there, Cham Chaim Sabato, it was the first time he ever decided to speak about his Yom Kippur War experience. And he took us all up to the Golan,
Yes.
I guess where everything unfolded, and he told us over his story. So I'm assuming, you know, I'm assuming you know him since you went to Yeshivat HaKotel as well. And I'm wondering if you could share anything about also being where you were during that Yom Kippur War, especially knowing that you had family on the other side of the border, or friends at least on the other side of the border.
Yes, we are very close. We are very close to him, to Rabbi Sabato, my brother. He helped him also to raise money to build yeshiva in Ma'ale Adumim, Birkat Moshe. He got some donors. I have a brother in Panama, Rabbi Abraham, and they build the shul, they build the yeshiva, and he's unbelievable. This is Rabbi Sabato. He's a malach. He came, matter of fact, to visit our shul many years ago as a single. You know, and I told him, Chaim, yeah, you have to get married already. He says, I'm looking, I didn't find the right person. Baruch Hashem, built a beautiful family. And just to mention something during Yom Kippur War, when we got to Sinai Desert, we all enter as a group, as again, Yeshivat HaKotel, as a group, not one person. You go as a group, you stay strong. And we opened yeshiva in the Sinai Desert, and we called it Yeshivat Goshen. Goshen, we know Paro, he gave it to Sarah Amenu as a gift because he caused her trouble. And he said, you know, this Goshen is for you as a gift to Abraham and Sarah. Later on, Yaakov Avinu, when he sent Yehuda, he said he sent him to Goshna. Goshna, why Goshna? Not a different city in Egypt, because it's Goshen it belonged to Sarah Amenu, to the grandmother. So it was very exciting at the time. We have books, we have Gemariot, we're sitting and learning. What else are you going to do in the Sinai Desert? There's no malls, there's no shopping, you know. So all what you have to do is just sitting and learning and practicing, you know, here and there. And Baruch Hashem, the religious boys in the army, they did a lot of Kiddush Hashem because they know what they're fighting for. You know, I know for Shabbat, for example, as a religious boy, we have to turn the engine of the tank every half hour. Every half hour on Shabbat. Now, I have a friend who's not religious in the same tent, but I cannot ask him, hey, you know, go turn the engine, I'm Shomer Shabbat, and you. If I'm allowed to do it, I have to do it myself. I'm not allowed to tell somebody else. It's my job. When his turn, he'll let him do whatever he wants. So this, in order to keep the battery of the tank running all the time, being charged, is a heavy equipment. So you have to turn the engine on every short time to keep it. And this is an unbelievable experience. And I'm happy that I had that zechut to serve in Israeli army and to protect our country.
Nice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for taking your time today. Thank you for being a Hacham in our community, teaching us, and thank you for protecting Am Yisrael.
Amen. Amen. Toda rabba.
Thank you. Shabbat shalom.
And listen, have in mind our president, okay, Trump. Hashem should give him koach and strength because he spoke something very nice about the religious shuls, synagogues, and all that. And I think because of that, they're going to be more lenient now towards that. Inshallah. Shabbat shalom.
Very nice. Shabbat shalom.